Alright, people. Settle down. Settle down. Welcome to today's meeting on September 6th, 1997. You all probably know why we are here today. With the recent cases involving the disappearances here in our home state of Medell, over the past 3 months, we've had 20,423 disappearances. Just to name some of the more noticeable ones, as not to bore you and to make sure you all understand the leverage of this situation. Case 1, Jennifer Keela, age 31, sex female. Criminal record only consists of minor theft when she was 14 from a store she lived by. Disappeared September 1st. Our most recent case, to my knowledge. She was a public speaker for 3 years before using the money she earned to feed and shelter the homeless in many states before settling here. Case 2, Matthew Natz. Age 23, sex male. Criminal record, arson. He was imprisoned for 3 years after burning down his neighbor's house. His motive for doing so is unknown, but after being released, he took a different turn in life and became a firefighter for this town. Disappeared August 21st. He was on his way to his nephew's birthday when he got into an accident and was put in the hospital on the 19th. 2 days later, he disappeared. Case 3, Luke Liam. Sex, male, age 48. Disappeared June 1st. His name is probably familiar to many of you in here. He was the former mayor of this town when he suddenly disappeared after the lights of the room he was speaking in went out. He was speaking out against the current cases of the disappearances when the lights in the room cut off. When they flipped back on, he was gone. Criminal record consisted of rigging the vote in his favor, but after he was elected, the state saw a significant increase in happiness and overall well-being. So, Case 4, Youre Mada. Sex, male, age 18. Disappeared June 30th. It was unknown what they were doing at the time, but given their occupation as a paranormal investigator, they were probably out on an investigation when they disappeared. Criminal record is none despite their known horrible family situation with their abusive father and absent mother. They turned out a phenomenal person and helped make this state a little less shitty than it is. Back to the case at hand. We have a few suspects who might be tied in some way to the cases. The big 3 ones are Arlo Trene, Gabriel Lairbag, and Haro Lilin. These suspects are the most likely to be responsible for the most amount of disappearances within the 20,000, though we don't have definitive evidence. Arlo Trene is heavily suspected to be the perp in 8 child disappearances, though it is unknown if he was or not. If he was, I wouldn't put it past him to move on from children to adults, who could possibly ruin his reputation. Gabriel Lairbag. Sounds odd to think the only priest in town would be responsible for the disappearance of 20,000 plus people, but if there's anything I have learned in my years of being a detective, I've learned that the ones that seem innocent never actually are. So, that puts Gabriel on the list as well. And finally, Haro Lilin. I am aware it is a long shot, but we never confirmed his death, so until it is confirmed, I have reason to believe he is still alive and is back to finish the job that he started. Any questions? No? Dismissed, then. Hey, rookie. Can you come see me in my office for a moment? It's nothing bad. You aren't in trouble. Don't worry. I just need to speak to you. 20,000 plus cases in 3 months. I don't want to believe it either, but the amount of people gone in such a short time is eerily similar to that case. Oh, right, you're new here. Harrow Lilin was a famous killer back in the 1950s. Went to many different states and killed a lot of people. Once the police caught on to him, he would just vanish and move on to the next. It was only in Medell that he had his killing spree cut short. Normally, depending on how tight the security of his state was, he could get 40 to 50,000 kills in a place with a very small and loose security. But places with tighter security and better police, he could really only get 28 to 34,000 kills. But we were lucky enough to catch him when he only had 19,000. A chase ensued, where he got more kills, and that's why 20,000 is his lowest kill count. We managed to stop the man in the act, but when he was getting away, he ran his car off Bridge Lynn, just a few miles from here. My men searched everywhere for him, and they found his car with a broken window and a bloody trail of footprints leading away. They kept looking for him for weeks before giving up and pronouncing him dead. We still have no clue if he's alive or not due to no body, but I hope for our sake he is. Now, I need your help figuring out what to do. Yes, you. I saw your report papers on the first case you ever did all the way in Wyoming, uncovering a cold case and solving it within 9 hours of being hired. A case that went unsolved for 4 years. And right after you solved it, your previous employer handed us what went down that day, and it is quite hysterical, if I do say so myself. And I quote, "After solving the case in less time than ever before, the new hire breathed a sigh of relief and put in their 2 weeks' notice." End quote. You have some skill and guts signing up to be a detective, solve a case in under a day, and then put in your letter of resignation. Truly admirable. So, that's why I'm asking for your help on this case. You seem to know what you are doing, despite being a rookie in this field. Even brought an extra blanket and pillow, because you will most likely end up sleeping in this office with me. So, when we wake up, we can get right to work. I know this is your first day here, but I'm promoting you to deputy. Now then, let's get to work, shall we? First, we need to find points which allude to it being Harrow responsible for this case. Though, it still could be likely that it is the other two. But right now, we're set on Harrow. We already have a few bits of evidence for that. For starters, the missing cases and the murder cases all have a similar premise, a pattern. Calling card. The victim is targeted and stalked for a few days. Jennifer Keela, before disappearing, is reported to have stated that she had suddenly started experiencing strange feelings, like she was being watched. And each day, it kept getting worse and worse. Then, the day before her disappearance, she said that she stopped feeling that paranoia and instead felt warm and happy, like she heard an angel's choir singing in her ear. Then, the next day, she was gone. When we searched the house, we found no evidence of a struggle, no traces of who or what happened there. The only bits we did find, however, was an open door with the lock seemingly broken from the inside. As to how, we're still trying to figure that out, but The most interesting thing that we found was writing on the walls. The writing itself was in some sort of black liquid. We have found it to be a mixture of ink, urine, and some unknown substance. What was written on the wall was a bunch of text in Latin that, when we translated it, said, Jennifer Keela, her sins not yet forgiven, stole from them all and more she has done. Her punishment is most severe. Pray for her. Her end is here. Along with a painting titled The Thief of Skin. It's a graphic depiction of a humanoid creature stealing the skin off of a person, likely alluding to the short quote about her crimes and how it affected other people because she stole. That scene was scarily similar to Haru's method of killing. He would stalk his victim, learn their sleep patterns when they were most vulnerable. Then he would do his job and leave. The only traces he left behind were a quote about them and why he was justified in killing them, and a sick painting of the aftermath of his victim's demise, according to his mind. All of these cases tread eerily similar ground to that of Haru, so we can pin these on him. But let's not leave the other two out of this just yet. They still have the grounds to be the culprit. Arlo Trene is responsible, or he is suspected to be responsible, for the case of the 8 missing children at his family-owned restaurant. And Gabriel Lairbag, he is not fully clear either. I never said this in the meeting, but before he became a priest at the local church, he was imprisoned for 10 years after he was caught performing heinous acts in a cult he founded for a god they named Natas. Whoa! What was that about? Do you know something about them? Oh. That's horrible. I hope your niece is in a better place, even if they sacrificed her for Natas. I am truly sorry about that. No one should be subjected to that pain. No one. It's getting kind of late. We should head off to bed. Oh, the bathroom. Down the hall to the left. You can't miss it. I'll see you in a bit. They're a good kid. I hope they know that. And stay safe. They sound like they need it after reading through what we have on them. Target of a false charge that landed them in prison for 3 years. Parents didn't care enough for them to the point that they had to learn everything they know by themselves. They sound like a worse case of Yaramada. Way worse. And yet, just like Yaram, they turned out this well. Stay safe, Deputy. Stay safe. Hey guys, Garat here. This script was made by TPA. I don't really know anything about this. Like, they want to make it a series, and I'll be happy to allow them to get their scripts made into a series if they'd like. But we're gonna explore this together. Me and you, the viewer. Yeah, we're gonna explore this together, and I think that that's pretty cool. Because I have no idea what they have in store. This video is great. It was so cool. I can't wait to see what's next. But yeah, if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe. I love and chat with comments, and you made this far, so why not subscribe? Join the Patreon and the Discord, and yeah. Bye bye.